Hello and welcome to another video. As with bad habits, I get into them quite regularly. I made mistakes in my last video after watching it and I thought I'm just going to delete it and re-record it. So here we are, re-recording. In the time that I recorded the last video, I picked up a couple of other things and I thought I didn't mention another couple of other things, so a couple of them you can see just above my shoulder. We'll go over the watchables first. We'll do the readables after. Watchables and readables, that's what I'm going to call them from now on. When we're going to do the CDs, hearables. Watchables, readables, hearables. Right, try and move this stuff so it doesn't bang something. Right. Had a little bit of spending money over the past week or so. So I thought I'll have a browse because it's not been really uplifting in this household recently because of our little pet Cookie. Among the generic feelings that I have inside, which I keep locked away, that I don't tell too many people about, I wanted to do some retail therapy because that's for those who don't know, with my problems, I often find that buying stuff for my collection, finding stuff that I didn't have locally was my calming. It's helped me with my anxieties. So I would go into local charity shops, I would go into CEX, Poundland, other places like that. It would help me with my mental health, basically. Can't do that anymore for a couple of places. So I was just doing my usual browsing and I stumbled on this in CEX. My local CEX had this. Now, being a big fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin, I thought I could not pass this up. It's £20 everywhere else, it was £10 in CEX. Sorry, Buffy, almost covering you then. Here you go. Stone Cold's face on Buffy's body. What's that? You can't even see it. Anyway, it's quite... The first disc is essentially who he is and how he became who he is. Stone Cold. And the development of his character from practically a farm boy to, who he became. His first iteration being stunning Steve Austin. That was a shock and a half. Seeing him with hair. But yeah, because as I followed in the earlier days when I followed wrestling, I followed Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and all that. Macho Man. Rowdy Roddy Piper. It was only when I stopped watching for a long period of time, then I got back into watching it during the Attitude Era, which is when this guy was king. And seeing the behind the scenes of how some of the stories developed is just shocking. And how he managed to keep getting away, finding out how he manages to keep getting away with stunning Vince McMahon as well. But anyway, it's the Blu-ray exclusives for this is you get a couple of extra matches, apart from also having match content on the normal discs. There's 3 discs. The first one is the whole docu-series of how he started his wrestling career, and it's fantastic. This is a must for any Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. Next thing I bought, well, technically the next 3 were brand new, sort of spoiling myself off of Amazon. As this is a re-record, you don't get to see the fancy ripping off the bandage and the crapper. But I bought this. It's been on my Amazon wish list for a while. Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I haven't got round to reading the book yet, so I don't know how the adaptations come across. And I've only watched the first story, Battleground. Is it Battleground or Battlegrounds? Doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say. Hold on. I can find out. Not that one, the other one. Yes, Battleground. Technically, it's a silent, but not a silent episode. And William Hurt plays the job of the professional killer that has to defend himself against the literal army of toys. That's all I'm going to say for spoilers, because I don't want to ruin it. But the only sounds you hear are technically grunts. There's no spoken word. No spoken words. This is really enjoyable. Normally, when I'm watching something like this new for the first time, I drift away onto my mobile or something because I sort of lose interest. I was glued to the screen, so shows the staying power of this sort of show. That cost $6.99 off of Amazon, brand new. I could have got it a $5 second hand, but I thought if I'm going to spend a $5 on a pre-owned one, why don't I just spend the extra £2 and get it on Amazon brand new? So here we go. This next one is a series that, if you bear with me, I just banged the table and everything suddenly went way. I don't know if I ever brought this up in a video or not, but if I did, then you're seeing it again, and there's a reason. This was a find in a charity shop. Now, I can't remember if it was the whole thing or not, because I don't really remember much about watching the discs, but it is a bootleg. It's what they would call the Shanghai bootlegs, and you can tell because of that stuff on the back. Yeah. Either way, doesn't matter. I wanted Hellsing in my collection, and this was £2, either £1.50 or £2.50 in a charity shop. So it was a steal. I couldn't not pick it up. Anyway, back to the reason I brought that up. I can't remember how much it cost me now off the top of my head. I think it was like £9, maybe. I don't know. Hellsing, the complete collection. Essentially, it's the 13 episodes on 4 discs, and I don't know if you get special features. Yep, you get textless songs, music video trailer, staff interview, concept galleries, Japanese cover artwork gallery, magazine ad artwork gallery, Weapons of Hellsing gallery. I remember seeing this, and it was one of the first anime I ever saw, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I love this show. Then I thought, well, I'm going to get that. I may as well get Hellsing Ultimate. Now, this is where one of my mistakes came in, because I didn't fully research it, and this I originally thought was some form of continuation. Hellsing Ultimate. It's not. It's closer to the manga adaptation. So you wouldn't, if you like, for example, Full Metal Alchemist, but you prefer Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because it's closer to the manga adaptation. Well, then you'd prefer this over this. This is still great, but this is close to the manga. And it's all the original cast too. All the original cast. I've watched the first 5 episodes, I think, of this, and I've watched some interviews with the cast, and listening to them talk about their experience coming back to Hellsing after 5 years, because it's essentially 5 years on from the last time they did Hellsing. It's when they recorded this, and it's interesting listening to their takes on it. Watching the Anime Expo when they showed the trailer for Hellsing Ultimate as well. They showed a Hellsing panel at Anime Expo. Ooh, I don't miss cons at all. I don't miss going to them at all. The cringe was real. Besides the characters up on the stage, as in the actors, besides them, absolutely fantastic. The way they handled the outrageous fans. Oh, I swear those videos showing up today. No, it doesn't do well. Some of the things the fans were saying, and I'm on about female fans. No, no. Back to this, because it's getting out of. I'm losing my train of thought. My train was going, now it's off the tracks. This came to like £24 something. It would have been 22 pre-owned. So again, 24 new off of Amazon, bargain. And to finally have it in my collection, yes. Death Note Blu-ray next. Attack on Titan. I know they're like mainstream, but they're shows that I love, so I'm not big in Fairy Tail or One Punch Man, or the one most people are big on, Dragon Ball. I have a friend, Jason, who's huge into Dragon Ball. I'm not really that big into Dragon Ball, and the English voice cast can. Yeah. I'm not big on lack of Funimation. And that's how I refer to them. Lack of Funimation. Technically, they had some involvement in this. I think their name's on the bloody back of it. Yeah, it is. There's a whole advert at the start. You can't really see it very well, but... Come on. There you go. You can see Funimation on the left, next to Manga Entertainment and Universal. Technically, it's a Manga Entertainment release, but Funimation, obviously, the big distributor for the Western side when it comes to anime these days. And yeah, there's history there. I'm not going to go into because I didn't show. I don't want to drag this into the whole stupid internet argument with a bunch of whiny twatter trolls that destroyed a person's career. I'm not big on that. Anyway, the last things I'm going to talk about today, before we get to the readables, 2 things I picked up from Poundland. They're still in the crapper. I'm not going to take them out. They're just sat in there. I'm just going to show them to you guys. My partner bought me Black Swan on DVD way back when. It's been on my watch list, but I've never got to it yet. And then I saw this in Poundland, as you can see by the £2 replay sticker. Replay meaning it is pre-owned, but I've not been disappointed by a pre-owned Blu-ray yet from Poundland. So, pardon me. I'm looking forward to the extra on the back of this. Is the extra called Metamorphosis, a mesmerizing 3-part look at the filmmaking process, from the visionary directing to physically demanding acting to the stunning special effects. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Black Swan. And then something again that's been on my watch list for a while, but I haven't actually owned a copy of, was recently in our favorite in a group I'm in. We recently did a challenge called favorite adaptations, and one of the admin, basically one of his top 10 was this. It's, as I said, it's been on my watch list for a while, but I've never actually owned it. And this was the only copy in Poundland. It's the only copy I've ever seen of the Blu-ray in Poundland, so I had to pick it up. So now this, as I said in the group today, I put a post up with me with this in my hands in town, and I said that I'm going to be... This has now been bumped up my watch list, and I'm going to give it a watch. And every comment has been enjoy the sadness, because apparently it's a sad film. So it's got Viggo Mortensen in it though, so I'm really looking forward to it. That was the watchables portion of the video, and it's 16 minutes in. Oi, oi, oi. Anyway, the readables, it's going to be short because there's only 3. Technically there was 4, but apparently I already have one of the books. So to the readables. We have book 12 of the Temperance Brennan series from Kathy Reichs. I think that's how she says her name. 206 Bones. Now, I made sure to keep it on my phone because I use an app on my phone called My Library. You can't really see it very well. There you go. This basically showing all the books that I have of it. In this, this is specifically to the Temperance Brennan section that I saved in the book, filtered it to. Apparently, I have 11 books now. I have 1, 2, 3, 8, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Now, 20 is due out sometime this year. And people are probably thinking, well, why have you got them in such a weird order? It's because I buy these, most of the time, I would buy these books in charity shops. This book, I found... I mean, people are going to go, hold on, aren't you in lockdown? You shouldn't be going shopping like that. Well, no, this was on the charity stand in Tesco. It was Tesco supermarket. We were getting out some shopping in, me and Rosie, and this was on the book stand with one other, Flesh and Bone. Is it Flesh and Bones or Flesh and Bones? Flesh and Bones. Now, I didn't look at my app at the time because we were in a hurry and I didn't want to be fiddling about. So I put in £1 in the charity thing, 50p per paperback, and I grabbed them both. They did have another one which I knew I had, Crossbones. I do have Crossbones, don't I? Yes, I do. That's book 8. So I will redonate that book. The one, well, it's sort of underneath, down that way. But yeah, there's 20 total, but if you're ignoring the mini one-shots, like the 0, like in a collection they would be 0.5, 1.5, depending on where they fall between the main stories. Anyway, there's that. And finally, to finish off my Shatnerverse, this arrived. Captain's Blood, book 8. Really good condition. Really happy with this. Very happy with this. Captain's Blood. There you go. Big old Shatner on the end there. That's that. Put that there. Now this next one, I'm still glad I paid less than £4 for this, because this one was supposed to be very good condition. It turned up in what looked like a library book would be. The plastic stuff that they wrap the inlay in. It's not a library book because there's no evidence on the front page where they would stick the, thing where the stamp used to go on to say what date it's been out and all that. It's none of that at all. But it has had... It's got that silly stuff around it, which has been put on in such a way it's caused the binding to be slightly off. But again, besides that, and besides having a date in the top corner, you can't read. Hold on. There you go. It's not going to show it, is it? It's very faint, right up here. It's 16/9. Besides that, I rubbed that out. The dent will eventually work its way out. It's in good condition. It's presentable condition for my collection until eventually I get another copy. But again, this is presentable condition. This is book 10 of the Shatnerverse, the Star Trek Academy Collision Course. I think this is something to do with, obviously, the Academy. It's about him meeting Spock at the him seeing, I don't know, something to do with him and Spock at the Academy. Again, I've not read it, so I've not even I've just glossed over the blurb on the inside. But good old Shatner. I'll be happy reading them. Right, this is now 21 minutes in, so I'm going to end it here. Hello, I'm still here. Thank you for watching. Remember to smile today. Thanks for liking and subscribing if you did. Thank you. 19 subscribers in last check, so get in there. Question for the video. Trying to think. What's one film that you've wanted to see purely on the basis of someone recommending it? There you go. Someone recommended to you, like really sold something to you. So you're like, ooh, that sounds good, I'll watch that. For me, it's a recent one called Psycho Gorman. As in recent, so recent, it was only just released. But I don't think it's actually on Shudder yet, because it's a Shudder original, but again, it wasn't on UK Shudder when I last checked. So someone's hard sold to you that you thought, ooh, I'll watch that. Right, I will also get my old other video, the one that I recorded just before this, uploaded at some point. You guys take it easy. Thank you very much for watching. Big thumbs up to you guys, big thumbs up. For those who stuck around, I appreciate it.